Did you do anything fun this weekend?
Yeah, so one of my best friends was visiting from, Gurleen.
Yeah.
So she was visiting, and so we all got together. We had like a sleepover at our apartment, which was really, really fun. Yeah, we just hung out a lot.
This weekend, one of my sister-in-laws, Pratik's cousin, came to visit. She has a work conference, but she came a day early because she hasn't met the baby yet. So it was
Aw,
so nice just seeing her interact with him.
yeah.
And then we went to Filomena, the Italian
Oh, yeah,
restaurant,
yeah, yeah.
and they threw up Christmas decor in there. Yeah,
Really?
it was like
Ooh,
there was not even a single space that did not have Christmas decor
that's
on
so
it. It
cool.
was fun.
So we had a listener ask, what's wrong with the Manny?
So, if you remember from last week, I had told you guys that I am in search of a new nanny, and I did not do enough research, and I ended up with a Manny coming to trial out. Call me misogynistic, fine. I do not trust my child with a guy. I get it. I know, like, I married my husband and he is a guy and he is very trustworthy and everything. But, like, I don't know, men are gross and crazy and weird
Yeah.
and problematic, especially of that generation. He was like, of our parents' generation, have that, like, warm motherly instinct.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, motherly comes from mom, but
Yeah.
even so, I wasn't like, oh yeah, he's gonna nurture him and like be really nice to him and kind. He was just gonna be like, okay, I'm watching him and that's it.
Yeah. I also don't think that I could ever have a Manny.
Yeah.
And yeah, maybe that's sexist, but
Yeah.
I really don't think I could.
Yeah.
Do you feel like you would trust a man in every other occupation, or is there something where you're like, this also isn't okay for?
Yeah. So prior to the 10 minutes of
Yeah.
having my baby,
Yeah.
I was like, in no universe am I having a male doctor, a male OB, like deliver my baby.
Mm-hmm.
He was like, really, I had a male doctor that delivered my baby.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
Okay.
If I had a choice, I definitely wouldn't have gone with him just because he's a man.
Yeah.
But I had no choice, and
Yeah.
I was like, this baby is coming out, and he needs to come out right now.
Yeah.
So I honestly ended up being okay. He's gay, so I was like, that makes it way better.
Yeah.
Like I feel a little bit more comfortable.
Yeah. I would definitely want a female doctor.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I've never had a male gynecologist,
Yeah.
and I don't.
Yeah.
I'm okay. With
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Every time I had like a female manager, I think I felt a little bit better because
Yeah.
I think they understood.
Yeah.
So I do remember one time I was having trouble with a couple of my like coworkers, and they were like just mansplaining a lot, and they were just being super annoying, assuming that I didn't know what I was doing, just because I was like a young female in the field. And I remember I specifically went to like my female manager, and she kind of talked me through this, and she was like, it is common, unfortunately,
Yeah.
but you just have to insert yourself and like make sure that not proving yourself, but like make yourself seen.
Yeah. I mean, it is unfortunate.
It's so annoying.
Yeah. I feel like within the Indian community on a personal level, we do also have to show that everything is good and we are able to take care of things and be good and not be too talkative, but not too shy and have that balance and everything. Like it's just a constant needing to be perfect.
Yeah, it's so annoying, and it kind of reminds me of like exactly what you're saying, just like expectations within the Indian community, because
Yeah.
there's so many times where it feels like we have to do everything.
Yeah.
And now that we're like married, it's like not only you're a wife, but you also have a full-time job.
Yeah.
But then you're cooking at home. Like
Yeah.
these are expectations that
Yeah.
you have to have versus like I feel like both of us are the same way where we do everything with our partner.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so this weekend I did something fun, and I didn't tell mom and dad yet, but I'm kind of nervous.
What did you do? Holy moly, what?
Yeah.
Oh my God, did you get both?
Okay, so it's a long story. It's a really long story. Okay,
Why
so
you have one? I have two. I'm normal. That's so embarrassing that you
Yeah.
only got one piercing.
It's
Like a
times-
busy teenage boy.
Okay. That's great. Thank you.
Wait, that's so crazy.
I know. I was so nervous. And I think I've talked to you about this before because it's a piercing that I've wanted for a really long
Yeah.
time. But every time, like, mom and dad have always been like, no. And I don't
Yeah.
think mom actually cares,
Yeah.
but I think she's like, no,
Yeah.
whatever. Right? But this time I texted Anjali immediately and I was like, hey, like, all of my friends want to get piercings.
Yeah.
Should I do it? And they literally were like, yeah, if it's what you want to do, like, go do it.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, but should I call mom first? Like, maybe I'll just call her first and ask.
Right.
And literally they were like, Shalu, you're almost 30 years old. Like, you can make your own decisions. And I was like,
Wow.
okay. But
That's scary.
I know, so scary.
Dang.
Mom will notice immediately.
Okay, yeah, of
Because
course.
like, anything that's different, she knows immediately.
Yeah.
When I got my hair colored, I tied it up in a bun so that she wouldn't really see, like, all of it. As soon as I walked into her room, she's like looking at her phone. She's like, did you get your hair colored? I was like, what? It took Dad 8 months to notice.
Oh my God.
So I don't think he'll notice.
Yeah, he definitely won't.
Yeah. I wanted to ask you,
Yeah.
like, do you feel like you still ask your parents everything?
Yeah.
I do. I usually do.
I literally could not, like you were saying, I cannot function without asking them.
Yeah.
And even like if I'm not asking, I'm telling, it's still in a way of like, do you think I should do
Like,
this?
I want approval.
Yeah.
No, same.
Yeah, no, I've never, I got this second piercing and I went in with my mom and dad.
Yeah.
And had them both hold my hands. So much so that the guy like piercing my ears was after he was like, do you want a lollipop? Yeah, no, I would. It's actually crazy. Even if we're planning a trip, my husband and I'll call my mom and be like, oh my God, do you think we should go?
We should go. Yeah.
And she was like, well, I'm not going. Why do I care?
It's crazy. So actually, I didn't notice how much I asked mom and dad questions or like
Yeah.
leaned on them for like the smallest things.
Yeah.
And then after I met like Sai, he was kind of just like, do you need to ask them that? Or like,
Yeah. I think both of our husbands are very similar where they're
Yeah.
like very independent and they like do not need to ask their parents anything. And I think their parents would be very confused if they were like, should I do this? Or like, I don't know, should
Yeah.
you? Versus our parents are like, let's think about it and talk and discuss as a family. And
Exactly.
then we bring in our siblings as well. Like it's
Yep.
a whole family discussion
Yep.
of, should I paint my nails red today?
Exactly. Yeah. It's crazy. Something that I've been wanting for so long.
Yeah.
And if I want to do it, I'll just do it.
Wow.
What's going to happen except for them yelling at me? Maybe I'll cry. Who knows what
Sure.
happens? But I feel like because I also have older siblings, like
Yeah.
I'll come to you guys for
Yeah.
every decision that
Yeah.
I'm making, that I'm not confident in my
Yeah.
own decisions.
Yeah.
And I need to work on that.
To your point, I started doing this with Pratik, where I was like, oh my God, should I do this? Or should we do this? Or does this make sense? And he literally has started to just like look at me and stay silent. And at first I was like, what the heck? That's so rude. How are you not supporting me? He was like, no, like you're so smart and you're so competent in so many ways. You
I
should
love
be
that.
able to like lean on yourself for these kinds
Yeah.
of decisions. I
Yeah.
mean, even something small about like yesterday, the restaurant, and this is going to sound so dumb, but for me, it was like a pretty big deal.
Yeah.
I would have first asked Pratik, like, oh, should we take her here? Or
Mm-hmm.
should we go this place? Or what should we do? I was just like, you know what? I wanted to go here. I feel like she'll have a good time. And if she doesn't, it's not a big deal. And so I just booked the reservation. Like I didn't need to
Yeah.
ask him. And again, it's such a small thing.
Exactly. Yeah. Even yesterday when we were at the jewelry store, I was like looking at a couple of earrings and I was stuck between this one and then another one. And I asked my friend, I was like, oh, which one do you think?
Yeah.
And she picked she picked another one.
Yeah.
And if this was a year ago, I think I would have just gone with that
Yeah.
because someone else is telling me like,
Yeah.
oh, that looks good.
Yeah.
But as soon as she said that, I think it kind of validated that I knew I wanted the other one. And
Yeah.
I was like, I'm just going to do that
Yeah.
one. And it's really small things,
Yeah.
but it's a big deal.
It is a big deal.
Yeah.
Wow. I think I need to be more intentional now with my parents.
This is kind of like in the opposite way, like a little bit, but so again, our parents usually just handle everything, take care of us like we're babies to them. I never have done my own taxes, and there was like if I was doing my own taxes, I was sitting down next to Dad while he was doing my
Sure.
taxes. And then last year, he was like, he didn't say anything. And it was tax season. I was waiting for him to bring it up. So I was like, oh, Dad, like, when are we going to do my taxes? And he was like, well, you're married now. So I just figured, like, you guys would figure it out. And I was like, well,
What?
taxes are due in 2 weeks and we haven't done them.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm sure, like, I wonder if other people actually have this relationship with parents. Because to me, that was such a crazy thing. Or you getting your
Yeah.
ears pierced without telling your parents. I'm like, what? But I know for a fact so many other people outside of our husbands live very fulfilling, good, productive, positive lives without
Yeah.
having to ask or tell their parents. Even like I said, oh, maybe I'll like update them after. I'm sure not everyone updates their parents every single
After,
small
yeah.
thing. And I just can't wrap my brain around that. But that seems like such a wild, interesting way to live.
I know, I agree. It's hard for me, especially again because I have siblings. Like,
Yeah.
if it's not my parents, it's my
Yeah.
like someone knows,
yeah.
or someone is validating me in some
Yeah,
way, which
exactly.
is really bad. But
I don't know. I'm sure it would allow us to be a lot more like independent and confident. But at the same time, in my head, I'm like, now that I have a baby, like, I think it'd be cute if he came to me and was like, hey, like, what classes should I sign up for in college? Which I know some people don't ask their parents for, but I don't know. Now I'm thinking, is this just like a whole toxic cycle? And so my whole life is being, wow, I don't know.
Jumbled.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think there's a balance.
Yeah.
I totally agree. Like, I still go to my parents for everything. Like, if
Yeah.
I'm like, even if I'm not asking them, I'm telling them, like you were saying,
Yeah.
and I'm almost waiting for that, like, okay,
Yeah.
that makes sense, or
Yeah.
this is okay. But I've also realized again that I don't have that confidence sometimes to
Yeah.
make really small decisions. Like,
Yeah.
sometimes I'll still send like 2 different nail colors to someone and be like,
Yeah.
oh, which one do you pick? Like, which one would you pick? Or
Yeah.
even with the earrings,
The
like, which
earring,
one
yeah.
would you pick? And it's really small things where it's like, I should be able to make that decision on my own.
I think also this could be like our upbringing, especially with the Desi community. You need to be correct all the time. Like,
Yeah.
that's why a lot of people say be a doctor or engineer, because that is like, you can't go wrong with it. It's
Right.
not like anything is crazier or better than the other. It's just like you will get a steady income. And then anytime anyone diverts from that, it's like, oh my God, are you going to be okay?
Yeah.
And only until you've proven that you are people like, wow, so proud of you,
Good
Beta.
job,
Yeah.
yeah.
But no one like will ever say that if you're in the thick of it.
Right.
I mean, doctor Instagram is everywhere. And one of the things they say for babies is don't reward the end behavior. Like, if they're building a tower, while they're doing that, like, that's when you actually should compliment them, saying, oh,
interesting.
like, that was really hard to pick up that block and you did it. Instead of after them doing it, be like, wow, good job. I'm so proud of you for doing it. Because then it gets into their brain that only until I accomplish something in the right way am I worthy.
Yeah.
And I think
Interesting.
like that is definitely what the Indian community or Desi community has done. And I think
Yeah.
that's really carried over to people either hiding things from their parents, or maybe the other extreme, which is what we do, is tell them everything.
Yeah.
And we haven't found that balance really. I feel like your friends are similar in the way that we are, where we tell our family everything or ask them.
Not really. I was actually thinking about this when we were getting our piercings. Like, no one else asked their parents. They didn't even think about asking them. The friend that initiated it, like, she just woke up that day and was like, I want to get a piercing. Like, let's all go.
Dang.
And this is something that I've been thinking about for like 20 years probably. And I
Jeez.
didn't do it until now.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, it's crazy. They had
Wow.
no thought to be like, what are my parents gonna say? Should I ask someone?
Did they ask anyone? No siblings,
Literally
no
no
nothing.
one.
Oh wow.
Yeah. It seemed almost like freeing to me a little bit because I was stressed and
Yeah.
always looking for that validation. And
Yeah.
I feel like that's not healthy.
I looked up so many videos, so many
Yeah.
like Instagram, so many things about like how should you ask your parents? And I said ask, and they were like, you don't ask, you tell them, and then they'll be on board. And I was like, okay, I went into it, I was like, I am going to tell them.
Yeah.
I was like, hey guys, so Pratik said that he wants to move in together, but I don't know, is that crazy? I literally said it like that.
Yeah.
Thankfully, they were on board and everything, but I know a lot of Indian parents or Desi parents are not. And I actually gave your siblings example. I'm like,
Yeah.
well, they did it, so like,
Yeah.
it's fine, right? Really opened the door for them to have any and all opinions. On the other hand, I was like, oh my God, how are you going to ask your parents? And he was like,
Yeah.
what do you mean? I was like, you have to ask them. And he was like, okay, like, I'm just going to tell them. I was like, do not tell them. That's so rude. They're going to think like, who is this crazy girl you're
Yeah,
with?
yeah.
I think you need to sit them down.
Yeah.
And he was like, no, it'll be okay. And their response was, that's great. It was, yeah,
Must be
mind-boggling.
so freeing.
So freeing. I mean, that's a great word you used about your friends. Like,
Yeah.
it truly must be so freeing to just have a thought and take action on it.
I feel like that
Wow.
only works in specific scenarios, though, right?
I don't know. We were moving in together.
Yeah,
that's like
that's true.
arguably one of the biggest things you could do. And it worked out.
Yeah, that's true.
Hi, I'm Anu.
And I'm Shalini, and you're listening to You Try Me Crazy.
Don't forget to like and subscribe.